Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we have Ken Cinnamons on. I'm very excited to talk to Ken because I think we can compare a little bit, a few notes between the LA market and the San Francisco market. So Ken works for ILLI Commercial. So Ken, great to have you. If you can do a little history on how you got into real estate, that'd be great.
Well, sure. I got my first license in 1977, got my broker's license in 1980. So I'm kind of one of the old school guys in the business. You can always tell how long a person's been in the business by looking at the real estate license number. So mine's a few weeks old. Prior to that, I was in the Chamber of Commerce business in Westwood. And we took the Westwood Village Chamber of Commerce into the Los Angeles Business Council, which is one of the strongest business representatives, especially within the real estate arena. But one of our members said, "Hey, I'm starting a real estate company. You got to join me, get your license." And that's how I got into real estate.
Wow.
So I got my license, and I've been in it ever since. I've been really excited about it. I started in property management, and then in property management, you do a little bit of leasing. And then you got to do a little construction to get the tenant in, and the whole gambit. I mean, I remember back in the day, I was starting out, and the guy I worked with, named Ben, who passed away like a year ago, but he was my client for all these years. So I was very blessed, and he taught me really, really well. But I remember, I got a lease going, and I said, "What do we do? He needs this wall built," and then he goes, "Okay, get a contractor, get the wall built." And then, okay, it's done. Okay, I'm gonna move in. I go, they're moved in, they're paying the rent. Then the rain and it's leaking right now, and there's what I do. And he would tell me, "Ken, go to the hardware store and get some Henry's Wet and Dry, go up in the roof, and you find that leak." And that's how I started in real estate. True story.
Wow, you were hands-on, not just property management. You were the maintenance man.
Everything. As a matter of fact, I used to have a ladder in my car because when I looked at a building, first thing I want to do is go up in the roof, because that's the place that's most ignored by property owners, and it's
True.
one of the most expensive. You got drains that may not be cleared out. You got HVAC boxes are open, and water gets in, or you can take a picture of the HVAC number. It tells you how old the units are. There's a lot of good information you can have, but I'm the guy that looks at all that stuff when I'm preparing, for a property or dealing in the real estate business. So I transitioned into portfolio work. Portfolio means that I have clients over the years that are changing portfolios, et cetera. So I assist them in their strategic plan, come up with it, and then take them from point A to point B to point C. And that's kind of what I do.
Okay, well, for all of you listening, I think this is a great tip. I had not thought of going up. Well, obviously, going up on the roof is a big giveaway on how well a building is taken care of, because you can see it firsthand. If there's a new roof and new HVAC, you're in pretty good shape. But most of them I've seen are not necessarily in very good shape. So,
well, exactly. And when I talk to a tenant, and a lot of in retail, which is probably where I do 85% of my business, a tenant will go in and they say, "Ken, what about this lease?" And I go, "Well, it's a triple net lease. You're responsible for the HVAC. How's it working?" And so, "I don't know." "Well, be aware that you got a 5-year lease, and if it breaks down in 2 years, you're responsible for it. So why don't you hire somebody and can't the landlord figure it out?" Sure, the landlord can go ahead and figure it out. And his guy's going to say, "Everything's fine."
Everything's fine. Yeah, I love the clause, and you probably have these in your leases too, where it says you have to have a maintenance contract. And I don't think maybe once in all these years I've seen that actually happen.
Well, we have some national tenants across the country, and it was interesting you mentioned that, because I got a property in Florida, and this is a regional tenant that's got maybe 120 stores, and they're responsible for the maintenance of everything. And we had put their lease is maybe 4.5 years into it, and there's air conditioning that we had put on there 5 years ago, and they have a 5-year warranty on them. And this air conditioning company says, "Hey, we have $25,000 of repairs, and our lease, the way the lease is written, the tenant is limited to $1,700 of repairs a year, which we agreed to because we had brand new HVACs and they typically go 10 years. But here we are,
Right.
4.5 years, the $25,000 repair bill per check.
Oh,
So I have to get a hold of my guy, go out there and take a look at it. And he's not finding the same issues that their guy has. And their guy just took over the maintenance of it. And their maintenance has detail, like we inspected all the units. The people prior to that says, hey, we repaired the fan belt in unit number 3. We checked the compressor in unit number 5. Very, very detailed. These guys are, hey, we just checked everything. Next thing, so you got to be really, really careful as to who they hire and what the game plan is, because I'm sure they're discounting their rate so they can go ahead and do the repairs.
wow.
There's a lot of checks and balances here.
Yeah, no, the fun and details of a lease negotiation, what you put in there and what you got to be really careful about. Well, which kind of brings me to the question, how is retail leasing doing in the LA market?
It's picking up. That's thank goodness. The LA commercial, you've maybe heard of CoStar, and you may have heard of CoStar, CoStar Power Brokers. So LA Commercial is a CoStar Power Broker, and for the LA region, we do more retail leases than any of our competitors. And that includes from 800 square feet to 18,000 square feet or 20,000 square feet. But there's a lot of mom and pops out there we represent, so we get really good detail of how everything's trending. And it goes from, landlords, depending on it, and the basis of doing this stuff is based upon a landlord's view of what's out in the market, the broker's view of what's out in the market, and then the tenant's view of what's out in the market. And if they all line up, a lease gets done. But if they don't all line up, everybody's talking about, oh, you should have a lower rent. Well, I need a higher rent. I got this 3 years ago. It should be higher today. Well, okay, yeah. Hello, everybody. Sit down, calm down. Let's talk about the marketplace and see where we're going. And since the interest rates is lowered here, we're seeing a little more interest for real estate activity. So that's a good sign.
Already. That's interesting. Things have picked up a little bit, even with the quick turnover of the interest rates. So that's fantastic.
I'm getting callbacks from my investors saying, remember that deal you showed me last week? Before you wouldn't even get a call back for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. So you do obviously property sales too.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of property sales. Between sales, financing, leases, I probably touched a little over $1 billion of transactions.
Wow, that's great. And so how much are you doing on the finance side of the equation?
Well, in my asset management hat, I'm right in the middle of 2 CMBS loans for one of my clients, making sure his portfolio information is matched up with the lender right now. So I'm helping them out with that. And then, so that's a $15 million loan on 2 properties. I just finished an $8 million loan 2 months ago, and I got another $5 million loan coming up right now. I'm not a loan broker. I don't do that, but I work with my clients to help them facilitate the loan.
I got it. So you don't really make any fee on that side of the equation. Yeah, you just make sure you make the right connections. So
not right connections, make sure it follows through. Because like a lot of brokers say, hey, can I list this? Can I list that? They gotta ask the second question, when's your loan due? If the loan's due in 30 days, your listing's not gonna mean much.
Yeah, it's gonna be all gone. Yeah. So you may end up doing foreclosure. You do any foreclosure work?
I haven't done, we've bought some out of foreclosure. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt. And the best for a broker is to have relationships with banks. When they go take them into foreclosure, they're going to unload them. And I have a few of those relationships. So, and if they're taking in a lot of foreclosures, that means the market's changed. And they learned last time that don't put everything on the market at one time. Work with your borrowers. And that's how we got through this last turnaround with the issues of potential foreclosures, because lenders learned a lesson.
Are you talking about the COVID turnarounds or the 2008 turnaround?
The 2008, they put everything on the market, and everything was discounted. and the lenders lost a lot of money on their balance sheets because the feds were monitoring the lenders, say, oh, you got these bad loans, you got to do this something, or you can't do any more lending. And now the lenders have learned, and the banks have learned, and the feds have learned. You're better off working out something until the market changes. Because real estate, as you know, if you hold it long enough, you're going to make money.
It's all a matter of timing.
It's
it
all
goes
about
up
the
and
hold.
then it goes down, and mostly it ends up going up at some longer term rate.
But some lenders don't have a choice if their overviews by the feds are in such bad shape, they've got to take these off the books.
Yeah, yeah. So it sounds like the LA market is starting to pick up, at least from the retail side of the equation.
Yes, I mean LA's got a lot of different submarkets. So
Yeah,
if it's
yeah,
downtown LA, the office space market's horrible.
yeah.
Still, if you go to outlying areas, you're seeing more suburban occupancy because through COVID, everybody doesn't want to travel downtown, as an
Right,
example. And now
right.
you've got a good BART system. We have a Metrolink system, and we have a Red Line, but it's very limited because we have so many people here. Something 17 million people in the 5 counties of Southern California, and you're not going to service it with the few lines that we have. And just a heads up, I besides being a real estate broker, besides being an asset manager advisor, I've also spent 4 years as a city council member. And when I was a city council member in my local city where I live, which is Moore Park, California, I was also on the Ventura County Transportation Commission, started to learn all about transportation, stuff like that.
Wow.
I was on the Cal State Channel Island Side Authority, so helped them with their development. And so you get, and I was also our alternate member at SCAG, so we learned all the stuff that SCAG did. With that being said, I'm now off of City Council. I'm off the Ventura County Transportation Commission. I'm off the Channel Island Side Authority, but I'm now on the Ventura County Consolidated Oversight Board. What's the Ventura County Consolidated Oversight Board?
Yeah, what is that?
It's where redevelopment agencies go to die.
I see. So are you saying that nothing happens there, that you can't get anything done, or what's the deal?
No. The job is if Governor Brown closed all the redevelopment agencies, they had so many years to unwind. And after a certain period of time, they said, okay, that's it. Goes back to the county because the county is going to be the conduit
Okay.
to close these things up, extract all the money they can out of it and disperse it to all the agencies they're supposed to get the money. The community college board,
Right.
the county, the blah, 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 all the different entities.
And so they basically are consolidating all these entities that are now kind of going, well, not going south, but they're ending. And
well, they have to end. So
yeah,
we've got 4 agencies left that have to unwind. They got bonds and all this other stuff. It's what I'm saying is that I'm lucky to get to endeavor and experience all these experiences that affect real estate. So it gives me an interesting knowledge base of how it works in front of the counter and how it works behind the counter.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So hold on one second here. It looks like somebody's trying to come in. I got to figure out who this is, and tell them to hold off 1 second here. Let's see. So this is probably David. David. Okay. Okay. So what's our timing here? 22. Wow. Well, they left. Whoever they were, they left. So that'll be fine. Any rate, well, this is a fantastic conversation. I think I want to continue this conversation and find out more about the LA market and what's going on there. We may have to do this on a more regular basis. So we'll see.
I love to chat real estate. If anybody wants to.
I hadn't picked that up at all. You're so
Yeah,
shy. You're
I
such a shy
know.
guy. That's fantastic. So, well, let's do talk more. I'm interested. I am curious. Your group is expanding, but you haven't come up to the Bay Area. It looks like.
Not yet. So I'm heading up the Ventura County office for them. They got an LA office, which will relocate to Woodland Hills next month. Our group's expanding, but we handle properties from literally Orange County to Ventura County and in between, as far as the LA commercial goes. And they got some really good younger people we've been training. So you get a combination of someone with substantial experience like myself teaming up with somebody that's maybe 3 years in the business. And what that gives you is the ability to make advise on longer term and short term decisions and a lot of energy to market a property. So we have a great
No,
combination of that.
yeah, that's fantastic. I counted that you have like maybe 30 agents, something like that.
Yeah, we're close to 30 agents now. Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So when did ILLI start?
I've only been with them since January.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so Todd Nathanson, who's the president, I think started it about 14, 15 years ago. And
Uh-huh.
and I knew Todd with his prior company. So
Oh, okay.
in this business of relationships, that's what happens. And not only relationships with the brokers, but relationships with your clients. And like I said, I was blessed to have Ben as a client for 38 years.
Yeah.
And he had his own real estate company that I helped him start. So every time he was going outside of his real estate company, he'd call me up. So I'm very blessed to have some great relationships. And that's really what this business is. And anybody who's been in it or looking to be in it, you've got to be upfront. You got to do your homework. Yeah. And you got to advise your people about what's best for them because you have a fiduciary.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not there for the commissions. I'm there for the relationships.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, I think a lot of young brokers and even older brokers, they're all into closing and hammering the deal down, and they end up with a short-term client that way.
But I saw it. I saw a really successful broker. He's talking about being competitive and being out there and how he marks it. And you got to be competitive. You have to have the competitive edge. That's how the Dodgers win. That's how you're going to win in real estate. Okay. I'm not that guy. I mean, I'm the guy who gets referrals because it takes a long time to do that. But I
Right.
don't have to make the most money. I have to make the best decisions for my clients. So people call me up and I talk people out of more deals than into deals. That's part of my job.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, here comes David. So, all right. Well, let me end by saying, where can people get a hold of you, and we'll go from there.
Well, my email is ken@illicre.com. And if you want, you can you see what my Illy phone number is here.
Oh, yeah. Let's get that direct line going to Ken.
Yeah, what is my direct number here? Well, I here it is. My direct number is 818-650-1606. I very rarely call myself. And if
All
I
right.
do, it's usually a butt dial. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, Ken, I look forward to talking to you again. And hopefully, if you ever come up this way, we'll catch a lunch.
Look forward to it. Thank you for making the opportunity to speak to me, and look forward to doing it at any time.
We will talk.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.